So I'm in the Frenchwood area of Preston and just coming towards the entrance to Avenham Park, or one of the entrances, and this is the Frenchwood Knoll Wildlife Garden entrance. So it's a high viewpoint looking over the River Ribble, which is just down at the far end of there, and you can see it through the trees. So that's Frenchwood, that's the approach I've just made. Saturday 17th of January. It's not a bad day again, so I'm doing quite well. Tomorrow's supposed to be 90% chance of rain, so I'm making the most of it while I can. Heading down towards the river area now. This is me doing a walk on by, if that's what they call it. So what I've decided to do is carrying on my a walk around project. I'm in the Avenham Park, Frenchwood area, Avenham Park, and Miller Park later on, Preston. So we're just looking at the River Ribble. I'm going to have to stop saying so as a precursor to what I'm going to say. But anyway, carry on regardless. So again, right, we've got the River Ribble there. Now, just through the trees, you can see a bridge. Now that bridge is very, very new, and it's not yet open to the public. It's been a very costly project, paid for by the council, of course, or the city, and I'll give you a better view shortly. This is the old bridge crossing over the River Ribble. Very popular area. It's the River Ribble looking down towards Watley Dale. That's the other side. Water running on down to the estuary and then out to sea. Avenham, and it's a very big park, and it's also twinned with Miller Park, which is over there. And this building is derelict. The history of it, I will find out. Okay, so I've just come across some information about the structure. It's called used to be called the Belvedere, and it means beautiful view. And it's a Grade 2 listed Italianate structure. And its original feature of the park dated from 1865 and cost £468 to build. And it was moved from its original position in Miller Park, which I mentioned earlier, in 1875. Of course, it had to make way for the Earl of Derby statue, which now commands a beautiful view of the terrace, steps and fountain in Miller Park, and we'll come to that later. The building that you can see right in the background was called the Park Hotel. It was a Victorian hotel, and after it ceased to be a hotel, it was taken over by a Lancashire County Council and used as their offices, but it was eventually closed in 2016, and now nobody uses it at all. So what you're looking at now is just a slope on Avenham Park. But this slope is very popular at Easter time, because the local children still come to this day at Easter time on Good Friday, Easter Monday, and they roll their Easter eggs down the slope. And that tradition has been going on for 150 years. I must admit, this park, and I have been coming here for years, as long as I've lived in Preston, and it's just a nice place to come and relax. There's a lot of people visit it every day. So just there I'm looking at the Japanese gardens, and then to the left obviously is the River Ribble, and there's a pavilion down there which is a cafe. What you're looking at now is what's known as the Swiss Chalet, and it was actually built in 1850 by John Tomlinson, and it actually predates a lot of the park itself, and people used to shelter in here and overlook the Japanese gardens, which is just there, and also you got the Kimberley Memorial, which I'll come to in a moment. But I must admit, in my youth, I have sheltered in there with my now wife, and we've known each other for over 60 years. Been married 58 years, I think, this year, so quite a lot of history. Unfortunately, it's all blocked off now. What I'm approaching now is the Boer Memorial. It is made of polished pink and red granite. This memorial was sculpted by T. Hodgkinson of Preston and erected on the actual flag market in Preston in 1904. Before he moved in 1925 to be replaced by the current cenotaph. You'll have seen the cenotaph in the Harris Library in some previous videos of mine. It stands at 25 foot high. It's very good condition, of course, having been well maintained over the years. The Kimberley Parade, which I have filmed in the past and attended in the past, takes place on the nearest Sunday to the 15th of February, and it commemorates the efforts of the 1st Battalion of the Loyal North Lancashire Regiment. This regiment was one of the forerunners of the Duke of Lancaster's regiment, which was the only regular army regiment in the garrison, which defended the town of Kimberley against the Boers in October 1899 until they were relieved in February 1900. Now that's a long time. The battle honour, Kimberley, which was awarded to the regiment following the siege, is unique to the British Army. In memory of the officers, non-commissioned officers and men, the Loyal North Lancashire Regiment, who lost their lives in the service of the country during the South Africa War, 1899 to 1902, and it was erected by their comrades. This ornate bridge that we're coming to, which is on Avenham Park, and the Miller Park, which is just beyond. Used to carry the East Lancashire Railway line, which opened in the 1870s and sadly was closed in the 1970s. Unfortunately, looks a bit in disrepair. And beyond the bridge is Miller Park, which I will come to shortly. The Japanese gardens were actually created in the 1930s. It's situated in Avenham Park, and it was created for people just to come and sit and enjoy the surroundings, the peace and the quiet. And it's still a popular place. A lot of people walk through here. Now I'm coming to the Miller Park area of this guided walk, or whatever you want to call it. Very nice in summer. There's a park hotel, or what used to be the old Victorian Park Hotel. Both these parks, Avenham and Miller, have a colourful history dating back to the 1860s, when they were created during the cotton famine. And the parks are connected by paths alongside the River Ribble and also underneath the ornate railway bridge, which we have just walked under there. Both parks were designed by the landscape architect Avenham Miller. So in the background is the Park Hotel. You can see now there's no windows, no glass in the window pane. And behind that, sorry, in front of the Park Hotel is the Earl of Derby statue. And the statue of Edward Geoffrey Stanley. And he was the 14th Earl of Derby, and it was sculpted by Mr. Noble of London and unveiled to a crowd of 40,000 people in May 1873. It cost £2,500 and £347 was raised by worker contributions of a penny each. The Earl of Derby, who was born in 1799 at Knowsley Park in Lancashire, was an important public figure and landowner, educated at Eton and King's College. He entered Parliament in 1820 for Stocksbridge as a Whig, WHIG. He moved to Preston in 1826, but he famously lost his seat in 1830 to Henry Orator Hunt, but he returned as an MP for Windsor in later years. He became Prime Minister a total of 3 times. So there you go. Lord, the statue of the Earl of Derby is in a commanding position overlooking the magnificent Victorian fountain. It can be viewed in all its glory from Derby Work. It's at Walk, which is where I'm stood now. And the fountain is Grade 2 listed and was designed by the parks designer Edward Milner. So what you can see there is a main west, north, east coast railway line which runs from Preston and out through various parts of the country. You can just hear it in the background now. There's a train, look. Glasgow Central is going to. Here's something I've just spotted on the way back to my original position at Brighton, walking back through the park. I've just spotted this cannon. I'll take a closer look. There's a little bird there just hiding under the cannon. So I'm going to have to see if I can find some information or history about this cannon. It turns out there's 2 of them. The notice board up there. And then you use it as a cheat sheet and see exactly why they're there. So, according to Cocker, these are replicas of the Sebastopol cannon. So there's 2 36-pound Russian cannons which were brought back from the siege of Sebastopol and manufactured as part of the recent restoration of the parks. The original cannon was presented to Preston in 1858 following the 1854-55 Crimean War, which involved the Preston-based 30th and 47th Army Regiments. Having endured the cruel winter of 1854-55, both regiments played a crucial role in the siege of the Russian port of Sebastopol, the capture of which virtually ended the war. This area, known as the Lower Viewing Terrace, where we are now, is one of the park's best kept secrets. That is right there, because I didn't know about these 2. Also boasts ornate cast iron seats and spectacular views over the River Ribble. Would be spectacular if they finished building the bridge, wouldn't it? So there you go.